Debate will continue on the Criminal Justice Suppression of Criminal Organizations Amendment Act 2021, commonly called the Anti-Gang Legislation. Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of National Security, Senator Matthew Samuda, who opened the debate on the bill on Friday, explained how the amendments are intended to strengthen the Anti-Gang Act, while including appropriate safeguards to bring it up to its full potential as a legal tool in the justice system. Senator Matthew Samuda says the specific amendments to the anti-gang legislation are designed to address the weakness of the principal legislation that led to its underutilization in the courts.
Among the most important considerations throughout this process, Mr. President, is how seldom the principal legislation has been applied in the courts between the time it came into effect and the period of JSC review. Before the JSC commenced, courts had only handed down 2 convictions based on the Anti-Gang Act, and as a result of guilty pleas, primarily related to the Uchen's Wilson trial coincided with the JSC, and several people were convicted under offences under the Act in that trial. Consequently, the potential of the legislation to undermine organized crime in Jamaica has not yet been fully realized.
He says the anti-gang legislation is being amended to reflect the recommendations of the Joint Select Committee.
The goal, Mr. President, is simply to bring down the number of criminal organizations in the country and the number of participants in criminal activity. If we succeed in that, there will definitely be fewer enterprises that thrive on crime and thus lower rates of crime overall. I think it was useful to insist on reviews of the legislation when you would have done it, because as I said, crime and the situation facing Jamaica will never be static, and I think if we're to disrupt organizations that continue to change and continue to evolve, we're going to have to ensure that legislation is always indeed fit for purpose.
He notes the use of the term applicable offense in place of serious offense that would facilitate the inclusion of offenses that would not be usually argued as serious offenses. Another challenge facing legal luminaries is to identify and prove beyond a doubt that a suspect is a member of a gang.
Section 6 of the Principal Act has been amended by inserting a new paragraph which empowers the court to take into consideration any symbols or markings or in the possession of a person that indicate a link in or involvement or indication with, or identification rather, with a criminal organization.
Senator Matthew Samuda says Jamaica remains plagued by the activities of organized gangs, noting that statistics from the Jamaica Constabulary Force reveal that there are 379 gangs present in Jamaica, with 262 considered active. He notes that 802, or 61% of murders in 2020, were gang-related. The debate was suspended until a later sitting of the Senate.